So we are here for the journey, ladies and gentlemen, and allow us to get our backpacks on and journey through this game number 2 as we hop into the draft. The band's going to be coming in now as the Taliyah still going to be taken away. Just to refresh your memory, was Taliyah, Trundle, Wukong, and then Azir, Galio, Yunara on the other side. See whether these bands are going to stay the same, because side selection has obviously stayed the same as Nongshim lost on the blue side, so they will stay there for another go.
Yeah, I imagine Nongshim will probably let something maybe like the Wukong go through and try and pick that up, and Dplus might adjust and try and let something through themselves they'll take. So they're gonna ban the Yunara earlier, and then I wonder if Nongshim just leave the Wukong and they try and first pick the Wukong in this situation, and then maybe, yeah, so they ban the Braum. So expecting a first pick Wukong, the question is, do Dplus ban the Wukong themselves here? Or do they look to counter it? They do ban the Wukong, they do take that one away.
Well, this means that the Galio's up. The problem is, or maybe it's not a problem for either side, is that the Galio is now left up and available. The Xin Zhao priority is going to skyrocket as they do take that one away. Probably the next rung as far as jungle priority is concerned.
Yep, there is the Vi open and available.
Yep.
They are just going to lock in that Rise pretty quickly for Showmaker. Obviously a pick he's comfortable on. Lucid hovering some picks. The thing is, we have seen the Zed, but it's been kind of specifically into Trundle, but he will go for the Lee Sin. And I do kind of like this combo because you have that point-and-click CC set up from the Rise. So pretty strong to be able to set up the Sonic Wave. And we'll see. I expect them to have setup on the other lanes as well. But I feel like Lee Sin and Nidalee kind of function similarly, where you want the setup from the lanes. You want to be able to provide that lockdown so you can just easily land the Sonic Wave and punish. Speaking of lockdown, Annie going to come through from Calyx. Obviously, with Rise being that mid-range sort of pick, hard to play into the Annie. You can just drop a Tibbers on your head at a moment's notice.
Whoa, the Alistar.
Early Alistar pickup. I think decent into both the Lee Sin and the Rise. Obviously, you can disrupt the Lee Sin when he's trying to move in, make plays, and the Rise again. He plays at a range that the Alistar, if Rise is hitting you, he's always in combo range.
Yep, and you just, you know, it doesn't have very much mobility outside of the phase rush, so if you ever do manage to get a headbutt off, it is going to work out, as the Aurora is going to be locked in here for Xiu. And so a lot of power towards the top side of the map. You were talking about setup. I don't know whether Aurora is necessarily set up, but she has a lot of chase down if you do get your Lee Sin up there in a good position. So I think DK feeling all right about where the draft is at the moment. Pretty squishy. Looking forward to seeing what Beryl's going to play. I think probably going to be something on the more tanky side, unless everything is banned away. Looking at things like the Rel, things like the Nautilus that he has been gravitating towards.
Yeah. Interested to see what Kingen would play into the Aurora. Do start off with banning away some of those range top laners, with the Jace being taken away, which you've seen some bans when Aurora's been picked up, because I feel like every melee top laner into Aurora is just not a fun time. Yeah. Is generally been the trend. Poppy ban going to come through from Nongshim. I think Rel's been such a popular one, but obviously the matchup into Alistar isn't one that people enjoy the most. So interested to see what Beryl looks to prioritize in that matchup. I do think Rakan would make that comp very squishy. Kai'Sa going to get taken away from Jiwoo here.
So without the Kai'Sa, now probably looking at something like a Sivir. Wanting to get your hands on something like that could be an option here.
I think
for Nongshim.
Jhin also okay. It's a pretty squishy comp from Dplus. There's no one really who wants to tank those ult bullets. It is going to be the Rel ban away coming out here.
Just playing Nautilus there, Beryl. Might be what he's looking for. Might also just save that pick until last, or pick up the Rakan. As he was saying, it's going to make them very, very squishy, but they have massive amounts of damage, and especially in AoE. Quickness plus Aurora means a lot of people die, because you walk closer to one area, and she'd do damage big in one area.
I feel like with the picks Dplus have, I think Jhin makes complete sense here. You already have so much setup from Nongshim. Jhin can just sit at such a safe distance and just completely decimates anyone on the side of Dplus. You have so much burst damage available. I I think could be the pick that makes most sense to me. Once you pop that ultimate, there's no one really who wants to tank it on the side of Dplus. Instead of opting for the Sivir, yeah, I'm not as convinced. I think Sivir benefits when there's a lot of targets that kind of spread the ricochets. I don't think you need the DPS in this sort of situation into this composition that Dplus have.
Ooh,
the spell shield is decent value though. Yorick going to come through for Kingen into the aura. Got that side lane pressure that we've seen work to decent effect. Obviously Rise going to be not too shabby in the side lane himself. And now looking for a pick for aiming.
This is a bit of fun, because Tristana is one of the only champions that can match wave clear with a Sivir. Zeri can't. However, she will be able to do a lot of things in team fights, and aiming has been pretty happy on the Zeri thus far. Don't feel like you've got like Wolf sitting at home saying, ah yes, this is the Zeri angle, because I do think that there are ways to get towards her, especially if your Xin Zhao is able to set up the knock-up, things like that. Then they pile on the CC from there. Annie generally will be able to find the point-and-click CC to hold her in position if that cleanse is on cooldown, or if she's taken it at all, as of course a lot of our Zeris have opted for the Ghost.
I think Dplus's teamfight just feels so much better, if I'm being honest. I feel like even though they're squishy, I don't think they're too worried about it. I think they have so many tools to sort of start the fight with. I think they have so many targets that are kind of harder to pin down with the Aurora, with the Zeri, with the Rakan. I think ultimately, once the fight starts, once they start blowing up targets, the Rise with someone, Lee Sin can kick things off. And I think Jiwoo is going to maybe struggle to survive in this one. We've also seen how many games the Zeri's just taken over in matches.
Feels like we are reaching another Zeri meta, which is, you know, thankfully, Volution Nami hasn't made a comeback yet. But it is feeling like when the Sivir comes out, the Zeri is often the answer. Certainly feeling a bit simple on the side of Nongshim, and keep it simple, stupid has worked out for a lot of our teams, especially in the Rise group. But Dplus, they're good at these champs. We'll see whether they can make them work.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game number 2. Dplus fans in full voice here today as we have a packed house at Lol Park, waiting to see who is going to be the last team into the playoffs. It's been a bit sad, you know, because we lost Bro yesterday, and that means Chronicler's never going to cast a Bro game ever again. It could have been that he never cast a DK game ever again. So yesterday, his emotions were on the line, but today they are again. Yeah, because his favorite team is DK, and they may be knocked out here. If Nongshim get their act together, and they're going to need to do it here and now with a composition like this. I think going up 2-0 in a matchup like this, like, oh, it's dicey. Nongshim did prove that they were able to deny the reverse sweep. They almost got reverse swept by Bro, but they were able to win in that last game.
I think particularly in this sort of situation where it's do or die, there's so much pressure.
Oh, yeah.
And if you go down 2-0, it's really hard to think we have to just win three in a row, especially in Fearless, where it can be easy to end up in a situation where your draft just doesn't feel that convincing because there's so many less options in terms of champions. So equalizing, if they win this game, I think obviously one apiece, much better spot. Just need to make this draft work. I do think obviously have some great engage tools. Sivir, once you get some items behind it, does pump out a lot of damage.
The problem is Jiwoo hasn't necessarily pumped out a lot of damage. That has been a little bit of a sore spot here for Nongshim. So far in this lane though, things going fine. Obviously, you know, Zeri Rakan, not something to write home about. But Jiwoo is 0-6 on the Sivir. I do want to add the caveat that he hasn't won very much. So a lot of the champions are going to look like that. Aiming, I mean, I guess it's the writing's on the wall.
Lucid is 0-3 on Lee Sin though, so, you know.
There we go. We're going to have to buck one of the trends.
Yeah, someone's getting that win today. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing, is a lot of pressure in this game I feel like is on Jiwoo. Obviously, Yorick not the... I mean, we have seen some Yoriks do some work in team fights, but he's not the premier team fighter. Annie doesn't have insane DPS or anything. It's very much about that initial combo in the fight. And obviously, Tibbers can do a lot. You get your extra rotations, but I think so much of this composition is reliant on Jiwoo surviving and pumping out the damage.
Yep.
A lot of threats to him. So far the lane going pretty good though, getting some good pressure down with those bouncing blades.
The problem is that like Xiu has been really good at finding flank angles. He was even good at finding flank angles as if he was a DPS when he was playing Scion. And that worked horribly. But he then followed it up with that incredible Aatrox game. Did manage to get a lot of these wraparound plays to work out. Is Headbutt going to come on through here? Pulverize onto Beryl, who doesn't get the knock-up. Jiu fighting, and so is the top lane. Well, one side of the top lane is fighting. The other side is just taking damage. Kingen gets a ward over the wall. They know exactly where Lucid is. But can they stop this dive? That's going to be the question, as he just walks on up. And the Ghoulie wall comes down. Q going to connect there. And they do just get the flash out. Lucid able to safeguard his way to safety. Oh, that's another one. Need a Thesaurus. It's all right. Q going to chase down King in here. Thumbs up comes on through. And he's just going to be forced to walk as far as possible. Q connects, and Lucid comes on through. There's the auto, and doesn't even die to the turret. Oh man, that couldn't have been worse.
So beautifully played there from Dplus. And the thing is, so much time that took.
Yeah.
Kingen was forced from the turret, so yes, he has TP, but he missed so many minions.
The whole wave just got eliminated.
Down. Yeah, because, I mean, it honestly would have been better if he just died quickly on the tower. It actually worked out really badly that he got zoned away from so much farm, TP'd back in really far behind, and Dplus playing it so perfectly. No flashes burnt as well. Xiwu and Lucid maintaining those. Devastating for the top laner from Nongshim.
Yeah, and I'm actually surprised the flashes weren't burnt, right? Because as he was running away, like that's a moment where you could just try and flash to secure the kill, but they were so patient, just walked it off. She said, I can get in range for this.
Yeah, as well, that final Q from Lucid looked like, I mean, he was right on the edge of the hitbox.
A little bit of Nautilus hitbox tech there.
Yeah.
You like to see it. As Lehen's able to headbutt his way out of danger, but not able to avoid the grand entrance, so holding the wave, almost just dying as Jiu now finding a lot of damage, is aiming. Yeah, you are dead, buddy. And Lehen's just baited him into it.
That was the Lehen special of holding the wave until near death that baited aiming into trying to kill him, and he just dies for free. So good punish there from Jiu and Lehen's. A little questionable, though, I will say, from aiming. A bit of an overcommit and getting baited by the heal. Beryl used his heal earlier, so maybe it was one of those things where you so often see the supports trade heals. Maybe in his mind he was like, oh yeah, we both healed.
Yeah.
Is the only thing I can really explain that away from.
Don't try and explain it. It's a barrel lane.
True. It is also the Rise vibes.
Yeah. As aiming, avoiding, sorry, Lehen's avoiding the extendo beam damage. That's pretty good, but that dash was not it.
Yeah. And the heal that came in, saving him as well.
Yeah.
Not the best play we've seen.
No.
Definitely not.
Gonna put that one firmly in the cons column, as Lucid's like, I'm supposed to hit those. You saw him delay a little bit there, as Beryl is rotating over, does get the knock-up onto Lehen's, only level 4 is Xiu. Yeah, he's going to put him between worlds, and he doesn't like being there. He is just going to go to the other world, though, instead. And so maybe he's a bit more of a fan of that one, as Kingen finally with some spare time here in this top lane. But Xiu isn't often in this position. He's often the one that's being put down. This time around, it is working as Showmaker gets that 50 gold from the Tibbers, as Gideon looking to make it happen again. Early flash comes through from Showmaker, but I don't think that's going to be enough to save him. And down he will go. Another good gank from Gideon in mid.
Yep, great punish there. Great read from Calyx as well. Flashing late and getting the flash out of Showmaker first. Able to punish that pick and setting up for Gideon. So a nice answer back after that death from Lehen's. And this game, again, kind of similar to the first one, being very even in the early game.
Oh, yeah. It's in fact like 200 gold in it, and that's based on where waves are being bounced at this point in time. As we're going to check this one out one more time.
This one was a weird one just because Xiwu had moved down. You know you don't have Pry on the top lane. You know Xiwu has nothing else to be done. Just a big overextension from Nongshim. Playing to the side of the map where you're really not strong.
I was paying attention to see whether there was a Lehen's question mark ping on Kingen. There wasn't. So maybe it was in fact communicated and he was just being a bit silly.
And this one was just good setup from the side of Nongshim. They had control wards in both those side brushes. There was some vision from Dplus, but gaps in it, which Gideon was able to sneak through. So an overextension from Showmaker that was punished there.
That's nicely done thus far. And we were talking about the fact that Jiu is the biggest, priority here for Nongshim. And so far, has been doing very well. As Hex Flash over here from Lehens, as Lucid picks up one of the grubs and will be able to back his way out. Beryl now looking a little worse for wear, as the rest of Nongshim are grouped up. Possible angle here. Let's see what they can actually get, as Lehens on the level 5, so is Beryl though. As we get a reset on this grub, Xiu looking for an angle, and they want to turn. Still a lot of damage coming on through there, and Xiu trying to go between the worlds. My god, the burst damage is obscene! And now aiming is able to explode and pick up that kill. The king is fantastic. Xiu gonna go down towards that top side as Beryl just battle dances his way to safety. And Nongshim looking in shambles as they'll lose the grubs on top of everything else.
We've seen this so many times before. When your primary target is that Aurora, you think you've caught her, but she's so slippery, so hard to pin down. And if you don't immediately blow her up, she'll pop her ult, she'll get a ton of damage. And what is the cow doing?
The arm is out of the paddock and into the game. I'm not sure. It was also, you could see the confusion on Showmaker as far as the movement. He's like moving down, he's like better avoid the teleport. His aiming is like better avoid death. He is going to be able to cleanse, but that's an angry bear that will do a lot of damage.
That's a polar bear as well. You do not want to mess with polar bears.
No, especially not ones in scarves. It's the scarf that really adds that extra level of intimidation. You know he means business when he's all scarfed up, you know?
That's for sure. But yeah, the Aurora, in this situation, they see Shiwu split, they try and make it engage. The thing is, if you don't immediately blow up the Aurora, she's so slippery, able to disengage, the ult does so much damage, and she was able to get off more rotations at the back end of the fight, and this kick from Lucid to finish off.
Oh, man.
Jiwoo so good there. Jiwoo doesn't read it, doesn't get the flash away. Just great setup from Dplus, and they are rewarded. Able to get the second grub there, able to get some nice kills. Now, Sundered Sky finished for Lucid.
Oh, GG.
It's not a big difference, though. Gideon shouldn't be too far behind, but it does mean you're not really going to want to opt into fights in this brief window where Lucid has his done.
Yeah, I think at this point, DK, if they want to take the Drake, they can take it, and there shouldn't be a contest, right?
Yep.
If you get Sundered Sky first, you should just generally win, unless something goes horribly wrong. An angle could be found here. Of course, Alistair can make pretty game-warping plays, right? If you get a huge Pulverize, if you're able to get a headbutt that locks someone down, he has Flash available. As Lucid, looking for another angle. There's a cute little safeguard forward, but he's just going to miss the Q, so he'll just be backing away.
Expected the side stuff from Kingen, and he was just like, nope, I'm a walk in a straight line sort of guy.
Yeah, well, Q going to connect here as Gideon just gets rid of Lucid, or at least attempts to, but the battle dance comes down. Beryl holding Gideon in place. The Lee Sin Rakan combo working out so well. And I think he tried to do damage back to Lucid. Sundered Sky, baby.
Yeah, I mean, there was no way you'd win that 1v1, but the Rakan meant you weren't getting away.
Kingen, use the Maiden. Let her try and save you. The answer was Lucid not quite able to tank this one up. They want Beryl to come on over, and he is looking to lock this one down. Sheer will be able to get on top. There is the knockup. Between Worlds comes on through, and Kingen is very dead. Lehens with a bit of a wraparound play here is Jiu? Why? Never mind. I mean, they should be able to kill Showmaker here, so Jiu using his health bar as a resource, something like that, and Showmaker is very dead.
I like how they panned away from the bot play because he was just so dead. Just so unbelievally dead.
They could have panned away from Showmaker as well because he was also unbelievably dead.
They could have just shown us, like, you know, maybe the ducky in the river or something.
Yeah.
The little frog you see just next at the top of
I like
screen.
yeah, the frog's fantastic. I like the dragonfly as well. There are a lot of frogs, honestly, in the
love
river.
The frogs.
It's
they're
really
so
cool.
cute. Yeah, but Dragon picked up, I think, obviously trying to contest Lucid with the Sundered Sky. Wasn't the right timing. It was a great find from Lucid. Beryl's there to follow up. Gideon now has his Sundered Sky, but is a bit behind. This was pretty nicely played, honestly. They go for a little bit of burst, disengage, drop the tower aggro, let it reset, and then Beryl comes in, and he knows Kingen has flash, so he goes for a W angle where he's like, you know, trying to make it a short W where if he flashes, potentially he's still going to get caught out. Kingen just holds his flash. He's like, I'm dead anyway. They have Aurora ult and stuff.
Yeah, Lucid goes in, goes back up.
Holds the summoner. Here, this was kind of a situation where there's a cow behind you. And Showmaker's like, you know what? I'm just going to keep running.
Gio also got kind of trolled by minions as well, so just looked a little bit desperate when he was getting out of the way of that turret.
Showmaker got the wave though, so you know, he'll take it.
Yep, didn't actually matter at all. It was just kind of funny. As DK doing a fair bit of work towards this turret here, as Lucid is going to get out of the turret range by taking the enemy Raptors. That feels efficient. This also feels pretty good on the Nongshim side, as Chu still getting the best of this particular matchup, but Nongshim might be able to force first turret here. As you can see, DK not quite able to lock this turret down in time. Gio also playing very defensively, and that should be the top lane outer turret falling pretty soon. They have run out of minions though, which is a little awkward. Beryl and Aiming should be able to get this one though. As Lahen's going to show up. This next plate is going to fall, but I don't know whether they're getting the turret. And so, as you can see, first turret blood does go over to Nongshim. Xiu heading between the worlds here momentarily, as Kingin is just having a horrible time.
Yeah.
He's now able to get his ghoulies to do some work.
Ghoulies helping out a bit, but it's still just not too fun at the moment, especially because, you know, Kingin is, Xiu is a good amount ahead, and Lucid just keeps showing up.
Yeah. Yeah, Kingin kind of thought that he could walk up and be like, I'll put you in a ghoulie kit.
Oh, this is a great call, actually.
Yeah, just going to teleport away. Gives him the thumbs up. He's like, all right, called you jungler again, did you, coward?
Yeah, if Lucid had been a little bit sharper, it would have been able to interrupt that, but Kingin, great read on the play to get out. Oh!
Aiming is ulting, looking for an angle onto Gio here, and actually with that damage coming on through, Lucid turning up, Gio's not going to be able to help take down this wave, even though there's no cannon, so this does guarantee the outer turret in mid does go down, holds that gold lead at about 2.8k as Gideon now going to get charmed up and kicked back and destroyed. Aiming gets another one. Oh goodness, we are on track for some certification here. Get the paperwork out, ladies and gentlemen. Aiming is looking kind of strong.
It is a significant advantage right now for Aiming over his counterpart, for Lucid over his counterpart, for Xiu over his counterpart. Only a lead for Calyx over Showmaker, and the thing is, it's Nani.
Yeah.
Not really the pick who you expect to be able to carry you through a 5v5, because yes, you can have the big ult, you can have that burst, but you're not going to be able to kill 5 people as a Nani in a team fight. And there's a lot of threats on Dplus who are very strong right now.
Gio going to try and look for some boomerang action here, as there's a nice knock up onto Beryl. They do get the feats of strength though, and Beryl can battle dance. So with Showmaker moving down, he is A-OK. Extendo beam on the Calyx is going to deter him from moving any further forward. And so that is just a Herald being locked up. That should guarantee themselves an extra turret, not to mention those feats of strength for some cool shoes to be picked up. And man, Gulliwall feels so useless against Aurora.
It just nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
It's like a vague suggestion. Like,
Yeah.
do you want to hang out there for a little? No? Okay.
Oh, I guess you don't.
Not interested.
Yeah, a bit of a shame. And this ward was also a shame.
Yeah.
For Nongshim.
I mean, the Realm Warp was just... If you win extremely dead before the Realm Warp, you were afterwards.
We in the business call that deader.
Yeah.
He is definitely even deader.
Yeah. No way you're getting out of that one. And now Dplus, pretty sizable lead. Second Dragon up in 45 with it being a Hex Tech, so all the tech getting out of the way. The primitive dragons will be on offer, as Brendan Valdez coined it.
I like that. Primitive Dragon's brilliant.
Yeah.
I like how it's like, it's double usage. Now Lucid gonna go in, look for Lahen's. Good double knock up there from Beryl, but there's not a whole lot of other people moving over outside of Xiu. But there were a lot of Nongshim members that were ready to rotate up, so I like just playing a little bit more defensively, but as you can see, they're defending this monopoly of vision that they have towards the bottom side of the map, and with 7 seconds to go, it should guarantee double dragon here for DK. And that means that, what is it, 1 grub for Nongshim?
Hey, they got a tower. Hey, they have 10 petals.
10 petals, that's a big thing.
Look, if their focus was getting more petals, they have achieved that goal.
Yeah, and sometimes we don't necessarily know what the goals are, right?
Yeah.
Like, going into a game like this, maybe their goal is to have the Maiden and Tibbers have a tea party. Maybe that's the goal.
I think with this many petals, Nongshim deserves some cream barbecue after this game.
Yeah, absolutely. God, bit topical there, my friend. Oh, I like it though. All right, Lucid gonna throw down the Rift Herald here. Shelly wanting to get in on that action. See whether Lucid does drive it towards this inner turret or whether he goes somewhere else. There it is. going to be picked up. He is heading towards a little bit of a dangerous...
the side step. Oh, he's going
this
mid.
Is so cute.
Oh,
Never mind. Gives himself a thumbs up.
No, I don't think he deserved that. No Korean barbecue for you, Lucid.
Hey, wait, but the minion wave does get here. They might be able to get some... Never mind. It was just kind of a mistake. The Maiden is going to go down. No tea parties for her. As aiming... Oh, dear. Okay, Realm Warp is going to get shown back in the dark. He is just instantly dead.
He just teleports out!
Yeah, and he's gone.
Oh, my God!
I don't know, man. All right, Calix is going to throw a bear at aiming. He's going to survive that. Beryl looks to try and knock up said bear. Oh, that was the silliest thing I've ever seen. Do you know what this is? This is about making it easier to do pump votes, okay? And, you know, Lucid's had such a good game. Showmaker was so good game one. Showmaker's like, no, give it to the young man. You know, I've seen all this
That was
before.
the equivalent to like a shovel lying on the floor, and Showmaker stepped on it, and it just swung up and hit him in the face.
Yeah. It's Sideshow Bob and the Rakes.
It is. It actually is.
All right, Lucid just going to kick this pesky Yorick, but it's not really going to do too much as Shiu is at least defended momentarily. The ghoulies do come up as now Calix looking for Beryl, but the Incinerate not going to land.
Beryl's just 1v1 in Calix because he feels like he can, and I don't believe he can.
He hasn't died yet. Beryl needs to get something in the middle column.
This is so funny because Showmaker goes for the Realm Warp, and I kind of thought he was like, I'll bait him with a Realm Warp, but I'm not going to take it because he steps out, and then he goes back in. I don't know if it was an accident or not, but he just...
That was so funny. Also, the fact that he was teleporting... no, okay, it would be silly if he teleported to a minion that was like right there.
It was just as funny the second time.
It was.
Honestly.
Wait, that's not a replay, is it? Okay, never mind. Kingan's dead again.
Oh my god, I can't believe that just happened.
Sometimes you just get hit with a rake, man. It's what happens.
Yeah.
All right. We do have 2 items now complete, though. Gideon got a small wooden hammer, and Lucid has a big, scary-looking axe. As Calix is now getting ganked by aiming. Oh, the redemption power here from Beryl. As Calix is going to die, it's just whether he can take anyone with him. And the answer is not for now, as Lahens, yeah, you're going to have to get yourself out of there, buddy. Aiming is actually really starting to do some damage. Has hit those spikes, I think. 2 items is now done. And that will only get worse as this game goes on. Already, that burst damage is starting to get there, and I think he's feeling himself, as the Otacon has just been started here from DK. They're 6,000 gold ahead.
They are very ahead. Last game, very back and forth, you know, felt close till there was a point where Dplus just swung the lead. But this one, it's been all Dplus. And now with the Otacon secured, 2 dragons in pocket, third Drake for the Mountain Soul in a minute 20. They're in a phenomenal position here. Kingan just a little bit of overstaying. A lot of bit of overstaying.
Well, Shiu did the majority of his health bar by himself and then said, Lucid, I am missing some cooldowns.
They all missed
And Lucid's
everything.
like, I am missing my Q.
Yeah.
And eventually, the Lee Sin was there for moral support.
Yeah, just a lot of auto-attacking. Here, I don't know if the flash was needed from Beryl, but I like the energy.
Yep.
Very easy play for Dplus. Get the tower, get the kill.
So I feel, and this should be making Nongshim fans nervous. I feel like DK are making all of the mistakes that they normally make. They have not changed the haphazard nature of their playstyle. However, they haven't needed to. It's just enough.
Look at Beryl, he knows they're there.
Yeah, he very
But he kind of wants it, you know?
Yeah. He's like, Banana Brush controller. We must.
Like, I will be the bait. And Dplus are like, we're not ready to fight. He's like, I will still be the bait.
Showmaker's done. Like, he's PvE. As Headbutt Pulverized onto Beryl, and he is able to get himself out of there. Did have a cleanse. Has to use everything that he had at his disposal.
As I said, he will be the bait.
Yes.
You know.
We're not sure what he's actually baiting for. However, he will indeed be said bait.
He just keeps repeating that he'll be the bait.
Yeah. Lucid's in the Ghoulie wall. Boomerang Blade going to connect there is now Shiu. Can he actually get over and affect this one?
It's a lot of damage.
It is. Should be the Dragon going towards Nongshim, because DK have decided 2 inner turrets, maybe an inhibitor turret, is probably worth the trade for your first Drake in the game.
Yeah, turrets are pretty good.
Well, there's a double knockup from Beryl. The jump scare from this Rakan. And now Aiming uses the goalie wall to keep himself safe. Beryl doing his favorite thing here. And out goes Lucid. Not going to quite find the kickback there, but I don't think that Nongshim have much left in the tank. And if you make them look a little silly, but Aiming's still alive, the outcome will still be the same, as Shiu is going to be able to put him down. 3 dead on the side of Nongshim. They do get a Drake, though, into nice all point. Yeah,
I mean, it's honestly not the worst outcome for Nongshim. They honestly got the shutdown from Lucid, but it's not good. It's definitely not good. A little bit scrappy here. The jump scare, Calyx flashes into the knockup, unfortunately.
He flashed out of the knockup, but still into the knockup. And
then Lucid, definitely not a Sonic Wave he needed to follow.
I got the cooldowns Aiming. Now you can hit them. And honestly, he could.
Jiwoo with the flanking Sivir. Yeah, not where I would choose my Sivir to be. But it was a place my Sivir was. And unfortunately for Nongshim, didn't pan out. But again, they got the Dragon. They kept Dplus a bit further away from the Soul. And the gold lead didn't grow despite those 2 towers being taken. Kept it relatively the same. And that's why I'm kind of saying that it wasn't the worst outcome for Nongshim with how things kind of played out, but it definitely wasn't like a good outcome.
Yeah, in the context of the game, it's not the worst thing to have gone wrong so far.
Most definitely.
Say that. I'm looking at the Zeri, though, and now she has the cool yellow sword thing.
Ah, yes.
That Infinity Edge is a little daunting.
Do you not think it's cool that Yuntal looks like the arrows you'd fire from Runans?
Hey, true. Does kind of have that vibe. Although the Runans does look like it's got like a golden arrow, but maybe that's the background?
Maybe that's like the trails, like the tracer from, like, you know, like the lines that come from firing arrows?
Yeah.
Like you fire them out, and then, like, if you swapped their position, like the Runans just fire them and that's them coming in, you know?
Yeah, something like that.
And then Infinity Edge is just there, you know?
Yeah, for an archer, having a very cool sword is sometimes just what you need.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll need to do some hand-to-hand combat. Maybe he will build a something else. As Lucid goes in, that's and then out, and then back in again, and then is unceremoniously destroyed. Teleport in from Shiu, who's just bouncing around the fight. A lot of AoE damage, but DK may have gone a bit of a step too far. Never mind. Just use the power of the wallets, DK. Yeah. It's going to be fine.
Dplus, you are 6,000 gold ahead. It's a red buff. It is not that deep.
No, they went very deep. I don't know what you're talking about. That looked very deep to me.
I just want to remind everyone, the loser of this is out. They do not play again for the rest of the year. The winner goes through the playoffs, and Dplus do not need to be flipping the game over a red buff.
Well, I mean, you might say flipping. I say courage. Because that was brave. What Lucid did. He did not have fear. But we have evolved to have fear for a reason, and maybe we need to start giving that a little bit of credit. As Nongshim now looking to lock down their blue buff, they should be able to do so. Unless Aiming is able to extendo beam it to death, and he just steals it away. My god, that is so frustrating.
Yeah.
That's a lot of bounty gold that Nongshim have picked up, though. 1,400 is not an insignificant amount, and you can see that gold lead has shrunk.
Yeah, it has. They're clawing things back, honestly, at this point. And Jiwoo is starting to be more and more of a threat. You know, I talked about how I saw... Oh, no, Lehens.
Okay. Well, Lehens is not necessarily the one they want to engage on, as he does get kicked back anyway. Uses the ulti, but he's still dead. Unfortunately, the will is unbreakable.
Oh, no, Kingen, no.
Oh, no. He immediately flashes out. Kingen and teleports in this game. Oh, it has only been a mess. As now Lucid is going to be able to get on top of him. The Flash Room prison, and he is definitely in prison there. The Shoveler goes down.
You know, it's been a long time since you could cancel teleport.
It's like, dude, do I just need to be this close? It's going to be fine, right? It was not fine.
It's been a long time since you could cancel teleports, but I just imagine Kingen was just spamming the button on the way. Like, no.
He's like, bring me back, bring me back.
Yeah, unlucky there. Yeah, so level 10 Alistair, the damage reduction on the ultimate isn't actually that high, and he pops it pretty late and just dies anyway, just gets deleted. And then...
yeah.
You gotta feel for him.
I mean, to his credit, he managed to avoid Beryl's knockup.
But not to his credit, he kind of left his wife behind. She's like chasing after him.
Yeah, look at her. She looked so sad as well.
Like, Dia?
Yeah. Oh, Chiu's on the flank, but maybe he's getting flanked as he just bounces to the rest of his team. Good knock up there from Beryl to make sure that Chiu's going to be okay. Boomerang Blade starting to hurt with 3 items on the Sivir. But Nongshim lose interest. They did manage to buy themselves a little bit of extra time, but DK is so far ahead. Once again, 7,000 gold as Calix Alcove Gaming is sometimes the last resort that you have to rely on.
If they look for him. I mean, you would say, why would they? But we've seen people look before.
Oh dear. Well, let's see whether Xiu can get him. No, he's dead.
Nice.
That's going to be Xiu that locks that down. That's, yeah, 1.1k. Something like that. Is it worth the inhibitor turret? Maybe. Honestly, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of gold. You might have lost that inhibitor anyway.
Yeah.
Inhibitors respawn is the take. He gets to pick up the last Wisp, but he just finished his IE. Obviously, losing the dragon isn't ideal, but the silver lining is that at least they don't have soul, so getting that dragon earlier was obviously pretty big.
Aiming has hit a huge spike as well, because now he has a bow for all of those arrows.
There you go.
It's pretty incredible. So 4 items to 3.5. But Xiu was just, yeah, kind of caught where he's not allowed to be, and the money going to Xiu, a huge deal.
So much. Guys, no, guys.
You do not win the base race!
No, guys, 1 was okay.
They don't win the base race. Okay, they're not going to base race.
Okay, so earlier I said...
Are we doing a worth check right now?
Yeah, so earlier I said 1,110 gold new 80 carry for the mid inhibitor tower in an inhib.
Yeah.
Might have been worth, okay?
Got it.
They then gave over another tower and another inhib.
Okay, rebuttal. Rebel Baron power play currently sitting at negative 140, 60,
yes,
59,
the problem
60.
is, you now have 2 inhibs down, and on the opposite side of the map from where the dragon's going to spawn in 3 minutes.
I feel like you're just being a contrarian. I'm looking at that Rebel Baron power play, and that says Nongshim did good.
Wait, Beryl didn't face check?
Hang on.
Who is this man?
What is this game? Aiming, he's going to just ult, and Calix is down to 50% before he can do anything. One more auto would need to come in as Aiming flashes away. Lahan's unable to get on top of him, but down goes Beryl as Xiu into the back line where he really enjoys spending time, and I feel like Aiming just baited 2 people to die.
Okay, Xiu getting a ton of gold of this, and he has the wave clear.
And now with 2, okay, do you know what 2 inhibitors down means?
A lot of farm.
Absolutely, and the enemy team does not get the wave. Look at that, Geo Eden good. He's opening his little notebook that he got from Teddy that he had dinner with like just the other night. You mentioned the K barbecue, went with Teddy, and Teddy's like, be Sivir, let game go mega long. And he's reading it. It was written in crayon, but he's like, I'm doing it.
That's the strat. Calix ends up using his stun, not on aiming, but just drops the bear on him, so he's kind of in an uncomfortable spot. And then Xiu is just shredding at this point.
Well, they did get the red buff.
Did Dplus do a little bit too much throwing? Because now we have Mortal Reminder of Xiu. He's 4 items. He is strong.
Yeah, and also the gold lead is halved. There is still, obviously, like, Soul Point is a big deal. Next Baron's going to be up in about the same amount of time as well. There is a GA on Lucid, but at this point in the game, like, Lucid needs to make a heroic play, not the I'm just going to go in and if I miss, it's fine, I can auto them down. Like, you're not that fed, actually.
Yep. And actually, we look at, items, 3 items each on the junglers, on the mid laners, on the top laners, 4 items each on the 80 carry. The gold lead hasn't, I mean, the biggest gold lead is between the supports.
Yep. And Beryl is very far ahead on that front. But the cow doesn't care. Like, yeah. Pay him in hay.
It's like the locket advantage is the biggest thing in this game right now, and then it's mostly like tier 3 boots. Tier 3 boot upgrades from the feats of strength. So it's not that big of a deal right now. And a lot of them have gone for like the upgraded Merc Treads, which is a magic damage shield, and it's only, I mean, Yorick does some magic damage, but it's mostly the Annie. So it's just not that big. It
doesn't help you against Xiu, and that is going to be the biggest thing for them to worry about.
So it's very close. There is obviously, the Atakan.
There's also, there's intangibles as well with the fact that there's 2 inhibitors down, and on the other side of those inhibitors being down, there's a Mountain Soul spawning. And Mountain Soul will protect against Sivir.
Mountain Soul is big, but I feel like the game is in a better spot for Nongshim than it has been for a long time, so they're in a good position to potentially fight this one. They are trying to deal with these waves though and push out outside the base, and they are trying to clear out
DK
these wards.
extremely scattered at this point in time. 30
Okay,
seconds
guys,
on the Baron.
There's a third inhibitor you have to protect. No, someone needs to defend. Guys, Showmaker is bot.
Yeah, if you
No,
lose
no, guys.
3 inhibitors...
Someone, please.
Oh, God. Oh, but this guarantees Soul, right? Because if they have to go back... Oh, no, Lehens might get caught out of position here as well. Does have that level 2 ulti now. Gets the headbutt back onto Lucid, who finds the flash kick and manages to pick off Calyx. I don't know whether he's necessarily the target, but he has a GA! Gideon has to flash away. The Civ is already dead, and DK actually thought it 3 steps ahead. Kingin now going to get flashed on by Showmaker. He loves flashing over base gates, by the way. And it was all just a cunning ruse, a bait and switch. And it will earn DK match point in this best of 5.
And
I can't believe they outthought them.
done in a Dplus fashion, right? There's some goofiness, there's some shenanigans, but at the end of the day, they come together and they take this series to match point, crushing G.U, crushing Calyx, a great kick from Lucid, and they're 1 away from playoffs.
My God, that was absolutely insane. We have to remember the Nongshim, this is the legend team, right? They haven't been picking up very many wins.